What if the story that broke you was the key to your breakthrough? Tonight's guest didn't just write books, she built an empire from her truth, from queens to the globe, from pain to purpose. Lady Ty the Great turned her story into 25 streams of income and helped over 1,000 others do the same. We're talking legacy, purpose, and power. Tonight on the Black Business Showcase, tap in, this one's special. You are now tuned into Sincere Love the Godcast.
Listen, they don't walk it how I walk it, nigga. And they ain't talking how I'm talking, nigga. It's different, it's just different. They ain't talking how we talking, man.
Here's the way it is. You live in direct relation to the poets, the heroes, and the sheroes you have. Always honor the elders. Then you honor yourself. Honor women, you honor yourself. Honor men, you honor yourselves.
Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Yo family, real quick, I'm proud to announce the soft launch of Sincere Love to God's new book, From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius. This ain't your average parenting book. This is for the culture. Inspired by Illmatic, built around his own son Seven's early development, and packed with real tools to help parents turn everyday moments into genius-level learning. If you've ever wanted to give your child a head start without losing your roots, this book is for you. Available now on Amazon. Order now and leave a 5-star review. You already know, we raising brilliance around here.
Hi, I'm Seven, and I'm the Super Harry. That means I ask big questions, I make big moves, and I come from something powerful. In this series, I broke through change, embraced my culture, and unlocked the gifts that my ancestors gave me. These books are for kids like me, kids with heart, with pride, and with big dreams. Come join the journey. Collect all 4 Seven the Super Harry books and unlock your power. Available on Amazon and Kindle now. Order your copy today.
Peace, peace, peace. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you too.
Okay, I didn't see none of those ads play just now. I don't know what's going on. I was having some tech issues before we started the stream, and it seems like I'm still having some type of issues on my end. So if anything goes out on my end, you're just gonna have to hold it down on your side for me.
Yes, sir. And the ads were definitely playing because I'm on my tablet as well watching,
I
and
looked at it
they were
on the
fine.
device. Yeah, that's
But
right.
you couldn't see it on your current situation that you have set up.
But right now, I'm looking good, sounding good.
Looking good, sounding good.
All right, cool. Well, welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, and I am back once again with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl, and we are in the building for another feature of the Black Business Showcase. What's going on with y'all?
Yes. Y'all know the Black Business Showcase is my favorite. Last week, we had our good brother Dave, the business bully, and today we have the beautiful, beautiful Lady Ty. I'm excited.
Yes, indeed. So y'all know what to do, man. As y'all coming up in here, do us that favor, hit that like button, share this out on your social media platforms, let everybody know that we are live right now. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live or upload new content right here on Sincere Love the Godcast. All right. And so, since my audio and everything is good right now, might as well not waste any time and get right into it. Let us introduce our guest for this evening. Of course, we got another dynamic guest for y'all. She is I don't know how many times author. She's also a writing coach as well. Helps people get their books published and all of that. And so, welcome, Lady Ty, the Great, to the Godcast, everybody. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's good? How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm absolutely amazing and honored to be on the Godcast. Come on now.
Oh, we're honored to have you. I'm so excited to get all up in your black business.
Let's go, honey. Take me through there. Where we go?
I knew you was gonna bring the energy. That's what we need. Let's need. Go. So again, family, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Everybody welcome our guest to the Godcast. Everybody say peace to Lady Ty the Great. All right.
Peace.
And so this is your first time chopping it up with us on the Godcast. And so what we like to do with the guests right off top is we like to get into the origin story, man. Take us back a little bit. Tell the family about, who you are and, how you got started on this journey.
Awesome. So I'm Lady Ty the Great, and I teach people how to operate in their greater overall. And that starts with telling the truth. So my truth started in 2017 when I wrote and self-published my first book titled Daddy Issues. This book was a hard book about truths that went on in my life, hurt, betrayal, situations I had to forgive, my awakening, my connecting with God. I was a non-believer turned believer due to a supernatural experience I had. And during 2020, the pandemic, LL Cool J interviewed me about the book. And that was a time a lot of people were in the house, in the home. Prior to that interview,
Hold on. We ain't gonna go just speed past that right there. Hold on.
Yeah, LL Cool J interviewed me, but what had happened was
Right. Hold on. Slow down. So during the pandemic, you just happened to get interviewed by LL Cool J. LL Cool J, y'all. All right, let's talk about that.
Legend.
So the book again is titled Daddy Issues. So this was a book about my issues, but I had now gotten over those issues. I had triumphed over my trauma. And I just wanted to help people be great because I was in a great space. And that's what we do. When you evolve, you want others to evolve. You want others to grow and experience that. And I learned how to do sales funnel. I come from an original time. At the age of 16, I was had my own business. I don't know if you remember street teams when people used to put stickers up on the poles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I worked for artists like Mary J. Blige, Trackmasters, The Share My World album, Capone and Noriega.
Classic.
Yeah, so these are in Priority Records, Blunt Records. When there were so many minor record labels, under record labels, I was working the street teams before they started hiring high school kids to be interns to do it for free. So I was getting the bag before they figured out a way how to cut the bag out, right? And so, which led me to have a lot of different type of connections in the hip hop industry. So that was at 16. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 16 doing marketing and promotion. And I met my homegirl, Makiba Mooncycle, who introduced me to street promotions when I was working at WBLS. So I was a little troubled youth, right? Back in the day, I got kicked out of a few high schools. And so I went to an alternative high school called Satellite Academy. Shout out to anybody that's been in any alternative high schools, right?
Okay.
And so I had a journey. Father was on drugs, got married at 18. There's a lot of stories we can unpack tonight. So y'all just let me know which way we going. But the good news is anybody that wants the information is in the book, right? That's why we write books to tell the story. So a lot of different stories. So I was really raised by hip hop. Like the music helped me get by all of the different things I struggled and went through, right? So I learned to triumph over the trauma, but I was always a business person. But when I got married at 18, I had paused all of that, had a family, did all the things. He was then incarcerated, which led me back to figuring out a way to work again. So business was my first love. So now I created children's entertainment company. Now I'm doing face painting, I'm doing animal balloons because I got kids. Now I have to bring the kids with me where I'm going because I'm not trusting this world with these kids. Okay. And so created a business in that space, right? And that was very good. So I became a celebrity children's entertainer, right? Because now I have all my celebrity friends from before. So basically, who I am is the queen of pivoting. I pivot in any direction I need to go to. Then my grandfather, whom I was taking care of, was ill and he had a form of cancer. So I started working in the medical field to figure out how we could really deal with that, right? And so then he passed on. I started throwing parties now. Now the kids are older. They go to sleep at a certain time. I'm throwing events. So all of these different turns in life, but all the while, I still have this hard heart towards God and the way my life is. I painted it another way. And when I moved down to Georgia, the marriage turned violent and we were on the news. SWAT came through. It was a whole situation. And now I had this embarrassment and this shame, which I revealed in the story, how I got over that. And that's when I heard from God saying, I'm not making you go to jail. I'm like, man, you forgot about me. You left me out here. I'm clearly going to jail because I'm not Tina Turner. This is not what's love got to do with it. And what happened was I wrote all of that in a book. Wrote it in the book, shared some inserts on Facebook. The book sold over 30K. At this point, I'm in Georgia, New York girl, can't get employment. They're throwing my resume in the trash. I'm working at Old Charlie's. Like, the story is just ridiculous for somebody who has been of the people I know, the things I've done. I've produced a video show before. I've done casting director. How am I in this situation? And so what happened was I tell my truth and people are like, what? The book makes 30K. It's going good. But the pandemic.
Book makes 30K or you sold 30,000 copies?
No, the book makes 30K.
Okay.
Yeah, so the book makes 30. I don't even know how many copies, but when I checked my account and started adding up all of the monies from all of the places, it was 30K. I wasn't looking at writing a book as a business at that time. I was just looking at it like, oh, you write a book, okay, who really wants to hear your story? But I started getting booked out in church places and all of this. I became super holy. I remember having my experience with God inside my living room, and I said, oh, I'm going to church. And God said, I'm not in there, I'm in you. And I was like, that's the wrong God. Everybody at church. So I ran to church. For 4 years, I did it, y'all. All white, everything. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was who? Baby Jesus. I was Sister Jesus, Mary Francis. And so I did that. I did that sister act who? They ain't had nothing on me. I was more holier than an angel. And God was like, I cannot use you acting like this. Like, don't miss ministry trying to do ministry, right? And I still didn't get it. In 2017, when I released the book, I had a car accident coming from church, was hit by a tractor trailer, flipped over 7 times. And God said to me, now you can no longer go to a place I haven't called you. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Remember, when you take it back to the beginning of my story, when I had the encounter in my living room, he's like, I'm not in there. And so I just thought that was weird because of what I've seen, what I thought, what I've known. And God said, no, I've called you to a people that are just like you. If you don't go to the church won't come to you. And I just thought that was totally contradicting, not even realizing what I've been believing, where I was. And so this is my story and my testimony. So nobody has to agree with that, but this is the truth, And so now I have the car accident. The books are all over the highway. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And I lived by faith supernaturally for 5 years, meaning no job, couldn't get employment, all of these different things. So all of these fun stories, right, bottled up in this one. What happens is the pandemic comes in. I end up getting a job right before the pandemic happens at Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I worked there for 3 weeks. I was taking Ubers back and forth to this job. When I go to the job, the boss says, well, let me walk you to your car. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Because I don't want him to know I don't have a car, because he's going to be like, girl, no. And he's like, you don't have a car? Like, how? And I'm like, no, I got it. It's fine. And he was like, how are you working? And I said, no, you don't realize I need this job. Like, you don't know the things that's going on in my life. And Pandemic comes, shuts that down. I'm in my house now. The IG live, my phone is sitting there. LL Cool J, I don't even think I was following him, guys. The phone goes around in a circle and it says I'm being pulled on the live. You know how you had me in the backstage and all of this. So the phone is going, and I'm looking because I'm like, well, what they talking about? And the phone is going around in a circle, and it says like the countdown is happening, and I'm like, I didn't press a button, like, and I had on like a regular shirt. I'm just not even
prepared
because what's happening. And he was like, yeah, we're talking, and we're gonna talk about daddy issues, and I'm just like, supernatural. So we talk about daddy issues. We go into, I said, well, I wrote a book called Daddy Issues. Now I'm plugging in my phone. I sit down and we do this interview for like over an hour and change. And he endorses the book. So people, they put it in Rock the Bell Hall of Fame. Everybody buys the book because when they heard the story of, man, how could you forgive somebody that tried to murder you? How did all of these different things happen? And so as they was listening to my drama and what they say tea clock it, as they listened to all of the tea, he ended up, endorsing the book. People wanted to know how I was able to triumph over my trauma. And that's when my coaching course got birthed. So I began to teach other people how to write their book and how to turn it into a business and a brand. And from that, I've made over 100K and was able to get my house, get another car, and just help other people turn their legacy.
Wow.
I want to know, like, when that 1, 2, 3 countdown happened and you were live with LL Cool J, right? And the topic is daddy issues. And because you really weren't trying to, did you have any fears? You know what I'm saying? When you went live sharing your story publicly like that?
So listen, my underarms, they say, yeah, I'm ready. I'm cool. Yeah, my underarms was biting. They was like,
right.
Like my underarms is sweating because I'm not even trying to. I was at that point wanting people to be great. I wanted to leave the book alone. I was kind of mad at the book. Honestly, y'all, I wrote the book. Then I got into the car accident. I was coming from church. I'm like low key, like, bro, where do I fit in this? I got a job. Now there's a pandemic. I was not in the space. I wasn't feeling daddy issues. Okay, I wanted to be great. So I was on these calls with all these entrepreneurs, and when I was talking in this group. It was an entrepreneur group. I'm not promoting anybody right now, so we're not gonna say the name. But I was in this group where entrepreneurs met early in the morning, and it was amazing. And I did a coaching call, one-on-one coaching call with the gentleman, and he said to me, "Name everything that you're doing." And I was like, "I'm doing this." He said, "Great, focus on one thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know that already, but clearly he doesn't know my gifts. He doesn't know my talents. I know to focus on one thing, but." He said, yeah, just tell me the one thing you're going to focus on. Like, you paid for this coaching call, focus on one thing. I said the one thing would be my book. And that answer was revealed the very next week that I got this call. It was that we was on this Instagram Live, and now I'm talking about daddy issues again. And I was so nervous because I just wasn't prepared. And remember, I had been doing these cute testimonies in churches, at people little events, and just giving a book. So it's real cookie cutter. It's real easy. Nobody's going to dig in there. Nobody's going to take me through there at all, because I was doing safe stuff. This was the first time that he went all in there about, being molested at the age of 8. He got in all of the questions. I was like, ooh. And it was a great thing, though, because I was able to overcome it. I didn't like how it was going at first. And I was like, ooh, how can we twist this story back? Because he's leaning it this way. But it ended up coming around full circle and being amazing. Thank you for that.
How did you overcome that, though? Because he dug in. He he did surgery, on the book and your story. You know what I'm saying? How did you overcome that in that moment?
In the moment of fear for me, I don't know. Well, I don't like certain kind of bugs, right? So what you gonna do when you see the bug? I'm not gonna punk up. The bug gotta go. So I'm just gonna go. And so that's how I overcame that. I just leaned in and I just said, "Wow!" And I really
fight or flight.
Yeah, I really I said, wow, God, this is how we doing it. This is kind of corny to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. Even when the tractor trailer was coming, I said, yo, this look like Final Destination. Even if I was gonna get hit, don't let me see it. I'm seeing this like a movie. So I disagree, and I just I spoke to it in that moment, and I was like, oh really? I said, this needs to turn, and it did.
Right. And again, this is your story. So you're just telling your truth, your story.
Yes, and now I get to teach people how to do that when they're in interviews, how they can control it and change it, or keep it on their topic without feeling it. There's different tips and tools that they can use.
Yes, indeed. So you said,
believe it or not, I have a fear of public speaking. Like us talking here publicly with people watching really makes me nervous, and I've been doing it for 4 years.
Wow, you look amazing and gorgeous doing it. I can't tell.
Yeah, it freaks me out every time.
But you're so gifted. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I'll be trying to tell her.
He does.
But you mentioned earlier that you've been an entrepreneur since the age of 16.
Yes.
So I would like to know what lessons about money, ownership, and faith too, because you keep talking about the supernatural and your encounter with the Most High and all of that. And so, like, what lessons about money, ownership, and faith have kept you in the game the most when a lot of people quit?
Wow, that's an excellent question. So the lessons about money that has kept me in the game right now, I would say, is the lesson that I'm learning right now. That money is currency and it is to flow. Prior to, I thought maybe you save, or of course you save, you invest, you do different things, but money needs something to do. And if your money's not working for you, it's not money. And so that's one of the lessons that I learned. And I'm even sharing with my children, is teaching them, as they love to smell good. So I'm showing them how to shop with the vendors and not be the consumer. So then if you have friends that like black hoodies, okay, let's go buy 25 black hoodies. Let's sell them. If you put imprints on them, if you like certain clothes, let's look at how you can make those clothes and maybe make it about you. Because we've always been amazing and creative. Maybe we just haven't had the confidence to know that can be me. I like a certain lotion. Why am I going to the store looking for it? Why can't I create that lotion? What is lotion made of? How does that work? Because I also serve, I do a lot of different missionary work and things like that in Africa and Haiti and stuff. And so there's places where our dollar goes so much further. And so I've traveled, which made me appreciate money way more. And for example, y'all, in Ghana, when I got my hair braided, it was only $12, sis. For the braids that we get over here for $300, I'm sorry. I was like, $12? Are you serious? So I was like, wow, can I just bring some people with me to come back and we start our own? But so as far as money's, the lesson that I learned is that you have to believe in you. I've done over 150,000 in investing in what I would say was myself, right? And I did like that because I invested in others believing I was going to get something in return.
Like courses and counseling and things like that.
Coaches, yeah. And I recommend people connect with people, but I definitely recommend that you lock in with somebody that you see their fruit. So you what they produce. So example, if you want to tap in with me, I'm a writing coach. I teach you not just writing, but I also teach you self-publishing. And so we're learning writing, self-publishing, and marketing. But don't just sign up because I said so. Look at who I've helped. Don't see, I took a picture with some stuff. We got AI now. Anybody can do any kind of photo. Fact check. Talk to another person about me that's worked with me. You know what I'm saying? Find fruit. So there was a lot of things that looked really good and great, advertisement-wise and people-wise. And I followed a lot of things that I thought were amazing. And shouts out to those things because we never get an L. We learn a lot of lessons. But the largest lesson I learned that once I fixed my credit, shameless plug, I have a book called Hood Credit to Good Credit, right? So once I adjusted my credit and fixed it, I went and ran it up and went to a lot of courses and spent over 150K in investing in personal development and business and things, only to find that I was the real swag. And so some of the things I'm not saying I haven't learned from all of them, but about 79% of them, you know, some of them I had them run back my money. That's out to them because they did. You know, but so because you know when you invest in something, and I am pretty great at doing my research, but I did not look at the fact if you say that you are a public speaker and you help people speak publicly, I should have been looking at not the fact that they're making money from their speak platform, right, or their course. I should look at who did they put on the stage.
Right.
You know, if you a DJ and you got a mixtape, who are you? We're from, like, I'm from Queens, New York. So what happens when a Clue drops a mixtape or when Envy drops a mixtape, they have an artist featured on it, a new artist. That's how they break people in. So we are in the entrepreneur world. We are the break-ins. Even when people go on Summer Jam, you get the new artist first. So where are these entrepreneur gurus and coaches? How are they putting other people on? And I didn't see that once I started to dissect that. And I said, you know what? I'm not knocking them. I'm just going to create that. So that's the space I create for my students. They write a book with me. I create their media kit for them, get them on 5 podcasts, make sure that they also are in newsletters, magazines. You know, we do 5. I show them how to research the stations and things like that. So giving them that spotlight and including putting them in a magazine. And then you asked something else about faith. What was it?
Like just how you know how your faith kept you in the game as well, you know, in addition to the lessons that you learned about money.
Oh yeah, so how that kept me in the game was realizing that the faith can't be in the money. The faith has to be in me. So I was
money gonna come.
Yeah, if I do this, and I do it, once I start counting and flipping and doing my own math, right? God's math is iller than my math all day. So yes, I'm not saying not to be on point and do the things the way you do them, but the greatest amount of things that I had, the greatest business I had was at the purest when it wasn't about a dollar amount to it. I can say like that. So now I only work with 5 people at a time. If I was doing it for the money, then it would be thousands and thousands, but I make sure people get their product absolutely done. So I just learned to have the faith in me and not in the money.
Nice. So what would you tell someone? Say I came to you, you know, for some coaching, but I was like, I'm come to you off the rip and say, but I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Tell someone who has that mindset of I don't know where to start.
Your audio is choppy. Yeah, your audio just got real choppy.
I think I heard.
Did you get the question?
She looked like she froze. I think the question was, what would I tell someone that I don't know where to start?
Yeah. Is that on my side? Oh no, okay, yeah, that is on my side. Yeah, that was the gist of the question.
Okay. Okay, so the question, what would I do? What would I tell someone if they said, I don't know where to start? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, yeah. So if someone comes to me and say, I don't know where to start, I would say, you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't know where to start. But if you have an inkling or a feeling that you have to start something, let's start with the session. Let's start with the conversation. What are you feeling? So I would dive in with what even led them to come to me to have that conversation. And so some people, and I get that a lot actually, some people say, I don't know, I'm just drawn to you. I keep hearing you say, write a book, but I don't know what to do. Where do I start? And I say, well, when you talk to some people, right, what do people normally get from you? Like, has anybody ever told you that you have a story on the inside of you? Have you ever, shared something with somebody that they said that was helpful? You know, people, we tell stories all the time.
Right.
Barbershops, beauty salons, somebody can call you on the phone. Girl, I was dating him and then he was a narcissist. Somebody's telling the story and you tell the kids, no, because when my grandfather used to, we are natural storytellers. So when it's just a matter of when we consider writing it down and documenting this, and you can attest because you're an author, right? Writing it down and documenting it can seem scary if somebody lets it. That's because they're thinking too much. Some people's problem, I call it a problem because we can solve it. Some people's problem is they're thinking and overthinking about something that just needs action.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just an action, because if I'm talking and I'm telling you a story, you ask me a question, I'm comfortable like this right now. If I hit record and just record myself sharing with you what I just shared and I transcribe it, that's the story right there. But some people, you don't know the trauma they've been through in grade school. Y'all remember red pens? The teachers used to mark up stuff with, I know that y'all got computer kids now, but they used to have their red pen marking us, you correcting everything, so you felt wrong. You felt like you wasn't good enough. So it's not that people don't know where to start. It's just they're not confident that they have what it takes. And so most of the people coming to me, it's just confidence.
Fear of failing, fear of it not working, people not gravitating towards it, or them
because they like, okay, if I spell something wrong, do you know in my book Daddy Issues there are spelling errors? I didn't have the money for an editor.
Right.
I told my best friend at the time from the 6th grade, I said, hey, you want a spelling bee, can you go through my book? Okay. And she did, and did. So she went through my book, but then I added something, right? And so I didn't know that was, I thought I did all right. It was a period of comment, like, how serious can it be? Man, she called me, she was like, Todd, why didn't you tell me that to fix this part? I was like, it's okay, it's just like 2 pages. Baby, my mama went ahead and went on Amazon and ripped me. She went and gave me a review like, yeah, the story was not
it's always the mama.
Friend. But you know what I do with that fuel? Now I tell people, guess what? Yo, you could write a book without even knowing how to spell. Because I did it and made $30K. And didn't correct it. Say something. Because now I have 15 books later and I've helped 1,000 people. So I'm being me. So I'm not recommending that people do things now with all the tools that we have. But my biggest thing for writing my books was being obedient and getting my story out. Done is better than perfect, because perfect never gets done. If I would have been waiting on the editor, come on, y'all. I was shuffling between my light bill and writing a book. I sacrificed for everything that you see back there. Nothing I had was handed to me, nor was it an investment. It was a pure sacrifice. There was a single mother of 4 kids and took her Georgia Power bill money and invested in a $200 Write Your Book program in 10 days. Only to discover during the class that the lady introduced us to publishers at the end. And I'm like, what? They want 5,000, 7,000. This is in 2016. Like, I don't have that. I barely had this money. This flip gotta work. The lights can't go out. Like, come on. And it worked. I learned publishing, and now I teach others publishing. So that's the best investment I could have ever made it. And the lights never went out. Now the gas got cut off, but the lights never went out.
There you go. You said over 15 books?
Over 15 books, yes, sir.
Okay, so over 15 books, and you're in major retailers like Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, right? Not just
Walmart,
Amazon.
Barnes and Nobles, Global, on the Amazons too, every place. But I definitely recommend, if you're going to support any, not just because we're Black, but we amazing, and we are, right? But any beautiful Black author, you should get it directly from them.
Directly from them. Yes, indeed. I was definitely going to get you to touch on that. But I wanted to know about the process, even though, we want to do the direct to consumer, you know what I'm saying? It'd be more beneficial to us, our authors and creators. But, people do want to go through the retailer sometimes. So what's the process like to get your stuff in Walmart and Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that?
As a regular consumer, just to buy single copies or to buy bulk copies?
No, I mean for you, for to get your books in those markets.
So in those processes, upload into the different publishing. So some people, you can go directly to Barnes and Nobles. For the Walmart plug, that's something that I teach in my class, though. And I am doing a free class on October the 27th. So if anybody follows me on social media, they'll be able to come to that. But the for
At Lady Ty the Great, by the way, at Lady Ty the Great, make sure y'all follow her.
Thank you. At Lady Ty the Great. And on IG is where I talk back to most people a lot. The other sites I'm locking in. Thank you. But yeah, so Barnes and Nobles has their own upload. You can upload with them directly. For the Amazon, everybody can go to KDP and definitely log in there and put their book on KDP. And they have different sections where you can click global places there. They changed some things because when I did my book first, it was under something called Creative Space. Are you familiar with that? You remember Creative Space?
I'm not. No.
Yeah, so Creative Space was out. Yeah, Creative Space was out before they changed the name to KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. And Creative Space used to connect you with a lot of places. And so that was fortunate, but I guess everybody was like, well, wait a minute, we need our own piece when publishing became really, really popular.
Okay. So it sounds like something they did after they acquired Kindle.
Right. Now, do you think, or do you believe that everyone has a book in them, or do you think that certain people have different stories that connect, that's powerful, that makes people, that makes them have a book in them, their story?
I love that question, and the answer is yes. Everybody has a book inside of them because everybody has a story, because everybody has a voice. And don't get me hyped. You get me started because this is where I love right here. Like, listen, everybody at the end of the day, when it's the end of the day, right, on this planet, and I wrote a children's book titled We're Just Visiting, just talking about the time that we're passing through here on earth to just shine our light and put our swag out there. When our time is up, or when the time is transition, right, somebody's going to write something about you. Somebody's going to give some information, share some information. That happens time and time again, no matter what somebody's religion is, no matter what's going on. They have somebody's going to have some words to say about you. And because somebody's going to have some words to say about you, why not you share your words of wisdom? Now, many people think, well, I don't have a story because I have so much to say. I don't know where to start and begin. That's fine, but start with the things that you can. We Michael Jackson is saying, heal the world and make it a better place. What have you overcome? What have you learned? You see, our brother here learned something. His son, genius, right? Read and write and all of those things. He put it in a book to give the tools to somebody else. That's where we come from, our heritage. Even if I'm not all the way tapped in and don't know exactly where from what was robbed from us, but we know storytelling is the way. If they got through Underground Railroads, all kind of stuff, even through storytelling, singing a song and telling you what you, hey, we about to, by this the third tree with the blueberries on it, sis, you hit a left. And when you see the, whatever it was, singing and telling stories. And that's what we do through music. We story tell through music. Yeah. And it's beautiful because it gets through our soul. And somebody can have a broken heart. Whitney Houston, where do broken hearts go? You'll sing yourself happy. I have a playlist called I'm Good on You. Anybody going through a breakup? Let me send you my I'm Good on You playlist. So sis, bro, get back in your bag and get back with you good on that situation. And so music tells stories and everybody has a story. So yes,
a lot of babies were conceived through music.
I just gotta say, R.I.P. to D'Angelo, because you just made me think about that as well. R.I.P. to D'Angelo, man.
I know. So young.
Yeah.
But elaborate on what you were saying a little bit more, because you got this slogan, "We are the library now." And so, that's a powerful statement. So break down what that means to you, especially in a time when our stories are constantly being repackaged or erased.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? So, y'all, I never even considered being an author or a writer. So this is not something that I thought about doing. This is absolutely my calling and my purpose. So please know, when you hear me, when you see me and all of the things, I am literally just being who I am. I'm low-key like an introvert. I'm like extrovert to get people to back up if I'm in public places, So because if you if you go out first, then people will go in. So I'm kind of doing like a chess move with my life, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want the attention. Oh, hey, and then people are like, oh, good. So no, nobody come over here. Give me my space, right? And so it's the science behind it. So people say, no way, you so natural.
I said that's judo. You're doing some psychological judo.
Yep, judo, right, exactly. Yep, you right. Fist of the White Lotus, all the things. And so now, those are the old coaches. Y'all gotta, is it a New York thing? I feel like
I'm with you. Nice from the West Coast. You know,
Yeah.
a little bit low.
You know, okay, we'll talk. We'll call it. We'll get some VCRs and pop in the old tapes. But yeah, so what was he talking about? Because I started thinking about
the slogan. We are the library now.
Yes, we are the library now. So when I think about and this can go like so many ways, right? When I think about the reason, and not to go into food, but the reason why I don't want to eat pork if that's all that I was given during the slave time, right? I don't want anything that's somebody that didn't like me, that was just using me. I don't want that. So now, when it comes to they didn't want us to read and write, why not?
Right.
What happens? Oh, knowledge is power. Well, applied knowledge is power. Like, okay. And so me writing my story, setting my own freedom, because during the time I wrote that book, I still had daddy issues. I was still mad at my father. I did not heal until I picked up that pen and I started writing. My healing came through writing. So the title on that book is Your Identity is Revealed When You Get Healed. So many people are sweeping stuff under the rug and not telling the truth. They haven't dealt with things. When I handed my mother my book, she said, oh, why, that's why you started acting up at this age. She was able to see the shift that had happened, right? But secrets was there that I never dealt with until the age of 33 and later when I wrote it. So now that's out of the way, that's gone, and then we find some more issues. But just because you're writing it doesn't mean you have to publish it. The point is get it out though, right? And so we are the library now. Now more than ever, they are trying to erase us. I looked up my mentor, and when I typed in his name, Google, ChatGPT, they didn't even know that we have no record. You lying? He was a whole human being. You know, what do you mean there's no record? So it's already beginning. So when we have the liberty and the opportunity to print and publish and write, and we don't take advantage of it, it just doesn't make any sense to me, you know, and I could just get real passionate right up in there. But just keeping it centered. But it's when you have the chance to educate others so we can get to where we're supposed to go, that is your duty, that is your job. Sis, if you know how to make, I'm not just talking about a chocolate cake, if you know how to make something natural that can heal me when I have a cough, and because your auntie told you, put it in a book and tell me. It doesn't have to be packaged all pretty. This is information. Remember when they used to, back in the day, 5% used to have the lessons and stuff, the 136 and all the ones, and somebody would pass it down to somebody else. We had the folders, you know what I'm saying? Everybody pages all crinkled up, and the 1 to 20 and all. Listen, there was knowledge that we passed on. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's like, why have we stopped that now? And one more thing I want to say. What's happening is, we have ChatGPT. It is a tool, right? And you can look at it many different ways, but it's also able to do the same thing that was already being done physically, but now it's just mentally and on the internet. Captivating your mind, your thoughts, your everything. Let me collect it right here. So when you're using this, use it as a tool to get something out of it. Maybe give me a marketing plan or give me a sales pitch. Be specific, but don't say, hey, this is all of my business, and give out all your information. So many people are being lazy, thinking the same way with the cell phone. Remember, we used to remember people's telephone numbers.
Nah, I can't, girl.
You know your number, right? What's your number? Like 770.
Let me look.
And so everything that we have, the greatest thing we have is our creativity and our identity. So shouts out to AI, but I teach people how to tune in and use their author identity, how to say their authentic self. You know what I'm saying? In this time. So use what you need to, you get what you need. Use the tool, don't let the tool use you. That's it. But we are the library now, meaning we can be in libraries, we can publish, we can print. There's no reason we can really write the blueprint. But what's happening now is a lot of people is giving their information to a machine, and then now it's spitting out something else that's real lightweight, and now everybody's having information. Family secrets, traditions, certain things, and heritage is not for everybody. Tribes had their own thing and their own swag that made things different. And so, in a time where everybody is doing a thing, I'm trying to keep it different because it's not the broad road, it's the narrow road. And I'm happy to be that narrow road. There was a time I wanted to be on stages and places with other people, then I realized, oh, they whack in my eyes for what's going on and what I'm trying to do. My purpose is real. I'm not fitting inside of how do you call it? I'm not doing a thing just to gain an earthly thing. I'm doing something that's going to live beyond me.
Indeed.
Yeah. Indeed. And do you also think that sharing our stories, whether it's in book or on platforms like that, helps break generational curses or traumas?
Absolutely. That's the only way. So no matter what somebody believes in, inside the Bible, there's a scripture, Revelation 12:11, right? They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So meaning you 1 + 1 = 2, not 1 plus you. We need both.
Right.
That's how you overcome. You know what I'm saying? Something was sacrificed. Something was shed for you. That's the blood of the Lamb. Something took place for you, but not just that, something and your testimony. So that means my brother or sister could be stuck in a situation. Somebody could be feeling down, depressed today, and they could be wanting to be out of here. But I can testify to them like, yo, I went through that too, and I got over it. So what? That's what the playlists are about. That's what even platforms like this. But what we're doing is we're still using words.
Right.
The only thing that makes it, we need to be, how can I say it? We have you have like written word, you got somebody walking out the word, and then you got like the visual word, right? So just like how we got audio, video, you know what I'm saying, and print. So we have all of those things. We need to be everywhere because we can. You understand what I'm saying? So we need a book. Everybody that have a book, they need to do a podcast about their book and talk on different topics. We on here now. So every area, it's no reason. You know how genius we are? We can do
absolutely.
It. You know what I'm saying? And so all things is possible with God. We on the God cast. Come on now.
Say that.
Yeah, like all things is possible with God. We on the God cast. Don't play. So what do we do? Sharing our words. But remember where people get stuck. Because now they think about documenting the words, how it has to look. Skip all that. Talk it, write it, somebody do a video on it. Then we're covering every area because the person that's in prison can't see the video. The person that's in Berlin or in Russia, we can mail them something. You don't have to know them, but your book is going to go further. All of these different holy scriptures. I've been to the Holy Land 2 weeks plus. Holy Land, not so holy after all. Got a story about it too. You understand what I'm saying? So really seriously. And so when I say that, to say everybody's got their own book, their own belief, right? Which is fine. Well, it's still written. It exists because it was written. It was spoken into existence. What was spoken was then written. So how can we not do all of the things? We have to.
Good teaching. That's good teaching right there.
Thank you.
And so you've helped over 1,000 people write and publish their books.
Yeah, these are their books over here. That's some of their books over there. That's about like 50 something, and then there's some more over there too. Right.
And so your book, Write and Grow Rich, is basically like a blueprint for turning books into businesses, right?
Yes.
So
well, it teaches
talk about that, and what's the first steps for someone who wants to move from I wrote a book to I built an empire?
Yes, let's go. So Write and Grow Rich, and this is exclusive because it actually drops and releases on 11/11.
Hey,
so y'all are getting exclusive.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. And tomorrow is my Billboard premiere. So y'all getting another exclusive. So whoever's watching this live, yes, my billboard's gonna be up with the Write and Grow Rich. So it's a whole vibe.
Okay.
So I'm so excited. And so yeah, so Write and Grow Rich teaches people, because throughout this process, right, I took the funnel classes, I done had courses, I've created 25 streams of income off of one book. So I teach my students how to create the course, how to do speaking engagements, put all of the things, right? And I have successfully done that for some years now. And so now seeing their success, and I'm like, wow, I have an inner circle. I have people who are still with me from when I first started. And so I'm like, this is amazing, because they're still with me. Like, why? They have their book. You know what I mean? They have what they need. But I started off originally in marketing. Remember, marketing and promotion before I knew it was going to be this book thing. So I know business. I started doing sponsorship packages. The only difference was everything went digital. And so I felt like, oh, well, I don't like, no, if you're the original, if you did it boots to the ground, if you stomped on grounds where people had to have a reputation to go to, and you did that, what do you mean you can't do digital? You could learn it. So I learned funnels and all of these different things, took courses, invested in myself, and now I was able to show my students how they can automate and do things like that. And so this is what I share in the book, the way that you can write and grow rich. A lot of people think that they need advertisements. Ads are great and amazing and good, and it's going to get you visible in front of people. But I teach people how to nurture their their organic, you know, how to be yourself and use yourself. Be you every day. One of my students, he's a pastor, he said, "Why your message was so good, but you had that thing on your head. It was the bonnet." He said, "You was just going, but I hate when people do." I said, you shouts out to you. It don't matter what you like. Right. If I have a message in me, I'm gonna hit record on my Snap. I'm not gonna wait to do my hair to say it. It's gonna go, because I'm natural. I'm flowing. I'm real. I'm in my moment. So if I'm in my moment of inspiration, you're gonna get this good bonnet or not, you know, because that is the girl with the good bonnet message. Then the girl with the nice, what they call the hair, the bust me down. With the night, I'm like, that they have me looking so nice, but that ain't even, you know. Okay, let me leave it alone. I'm just saying, it look nice, but that's what I'm saying. The fake stuff look the best. Why come on? I put on some lashes. No, you're right. But there we go. Let's hear from Brother Man. Right. But that's the thing. But so when and that goes back to all of what we thinking. That's why today, y'all, look, I washed my hair for y'all. I know y'all can't smell it. But I washed mine and then threw gel in it. Yeah, I was right. But so then I was gonna do all that, and I said, you know what? I never just went on natural. You know what I mean? I plugged in my burn up my hair machine that my friend got me, my flat iron, right? So I plugged it in, and then when I looked, it was unplugged. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go down on the Godcast. I'm gonna go ahead. I ain't even gonna plug it back in.
The glorious crown, and it's crazy that you mentioned the bonnet and all that too, because I often see you in your videos with the tiara or the crown that you rock and all that, adorned with the jewels and all that. What's the symbolism behind that? What does that mean to you? What do you think?
Okay, so for me, is Christ crowns me daily, right? God crowns you daily, and so everybody know about the crystals and all of the different things. Like it's me in the state of how I was designed to be. I am a queen, so there's several different aspects to that as well. But I definitely heard from God in regards to putting on a crown every day. And I'll never forget, I was at an event and I did not have the full finances for this event. And while I was at the event, somebody mentioned to me, "Is it your birthday?" And it was actually my birthday weekend. So I really had the crown on. I took my daughter's Sweet 16 crown. I had her crown on because it was my birthday weekend. And while I was there, the young lady said, is it, you look like the type that'll wear a crown all the time. And I was like, what does she mean by that? So I was in my head, and then God said, from this day on, wear the crown every day. And that will be your witnessing to who I called you to be, how I see you. You are chosen. You are great. You are chosen. You are loved. You are enough. So when people see me, and queens don't behave a certain way, right? And disclaimer, I don't know if I want to disclaim that, but queens don't, but queens don't behave a certain way. You know what I mean? But there was a time, you know, definitely was married to a king, legally married to a king, but that is not why I wear the crown. However, yeah, that's part of the story too, and that's in the next book coming up, right? And
So
so,
if you're from Queens, is this a Coming to America story? Like, what's
it was similar to a Coming to America story.
Not Hakeem.
Either way you want to call it, yeah. So, but it didn't turn out to be what it in fact was. So y'all got that new exclusive, but definitely, yeah. So the crown is because God crowned me, and yeah. So this is it, and it also holds me accountable. So my crown is my accountability to remember, pause, take a minute, and move wisely. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. One time I was in an enterprise car rental place, and the gentleman asked me about the crown, and I shared with him same spiel. But then they started taking too long with your sister's stuff. So then I went to the counter like, yo, I gave him to New York, and he was like, what happened with the crown? I said, you are right. You know what I mean? Because I went off, and so it's just a reminder of, you know, that even without the crown, I'm still crowned. But because of who I am and what I'm doing and what I'm called to do, there are eyes on me, and I am to present myself the way that I should be. And this way is inside out. So this is not for show. This is not for attention. It's already going to be attention on me because of my calling. So this is for me to carry that out.
I feel like there's constant reminders from you about the importance of confidence and just high self-esteem in general. You know, with the crown, your name, Lady Ty the Great, you know, all of these things, you know what I'm saying, that some people might look at and say, well, who she thinks she is?
Affirmations.
Right, affirmations. And, you know, there's just the importance of that, you know, that self-confidence and believing in yourself to be able to, you know, move forward and be successful within your purpose.
That's wonderful. I never even looked at it like that. I definitely, you know, without the crown, people was already looking at me like, who do I think I am? So the crown, it just helps me because I'm just like, I think I'm like you. We right, like I think we are great. And how I got to be named Lady Ty the Great, when I was doing my marketing company, it was called Ladies in Promotion. At 16, everybody had a nickname back in the day. From New York, everybody, or maybe just from everywhere.
Of course.
Everybody had a nickname. I didn't have a nickname, and my full name was Titania, right? It still is. My name is Titania. It means giant in all things, right? By the way, and so, but Titania, I was like, man, why couldn't it be named Tatiana, right? Because I wanted to, again, growing up, you want to fit in. I'm standing out for a reason because I'm a disruptor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a truth teller. I'm different. I was born to be that. So learning to embrace that has been something. So here we are. I'm in this it's at Trackmasters, and I'll never forget. Rich Nice was looking over the list of everybody's name. And
what era was this? If you know, what year was this?
This is 96.
Okay, it was written.
The Firm album was coming out.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
okay.
This is nice. Allure had just came out. AZ.
Yeah.
Yvette Michelle, Erykah Badu. Yeah, all of those. Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah, Rihanna had just came to America, right? Or just found out about her, right? Because we was like, how do you say her name? Right. It was that. And so so now and Christian, the song "I Belong to You" was out. So all of that, and I remember these clearly because I was the producer of Chuck Chill Out's The Flow Show. So him and the regular producer had gotten into some beef. I was on his I was there learning because I didn't want to be there learning. Okay, tell the truth. I wanted to learn how to do videos because I was like, yo, whoever's doing these videos lately, the videos to music is trash. I love music so much, but now we were seeing more and more videos, but the videos didn't match the song. So when I met Chuck Chill Out when I was working at WBLS, I said, hey, introduce me to Ralph McDaniels so Ralph McDaniels can introduce me to Hype Williams, And so I could tell them that they doing the videos all wrong, right? I was so serious. And so I was like, I just want to give them some pointers because I really love music and they are just dragging me when I'm watching certain videos. I just wanted to point out some things to some people, right? And I thought it was going to help them. Right, I didn't realize that was called the treatment, conditioning, and all that stuff. But I was so for real. And he's like, I got a video show. Come down to my video show. I'm like, I don't want to go to no video show. I want to tell the people before they shoot the video. And so he's like, just come to my show. I went to the show one day while I was there. I was like, this is so not what I'm trying to do. Right. And so the producer said, well, while you're here, learn something. And I was like, I don't like. The psychics were downstairs. He was on his channel. They had the big beta tapes. And so he taught me how to cue up the thing. I said, okay. The next day, Chuck comes into, the next day or 2 days later, Chuck comes to the radio station. Yeah, I talked to Miss Osborne about changing your schedule. So I'm like, what? Like, at this point, I'm an intern, but they end up hiring me. But he says, I talked to her about changing your schedule because you got to come and help me with the show. I'm like, I don't know nothing about the show. He's like, well, Bobby's fired. And I was like, listen, trust me, I didn't learn enough. And he said, I don't have nobody else. And he's a real G. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I went and messed the show up first 2 days. The screens was like whatever. The owner of the station was like, we are not playing this young Black girl producer money. And he was like, I'm gonna pay you out of my pocket. And then we got it right a couple of days after that. However, I was still doing promotions on the side. So I had the Allure shirt on. And this is a story I could tell. I had the Allure shirt on. And Chuck said, why you got that shirt on? And I said, well, I'm working with track masters, but they playing with my money because at that time they was. And anyway, Chuck got on the phone and talked to somebody and they didn't play with my money no more. And my money was good. And so they made sure, I had my stuff. But when I was in Track Masters talking with Rich Nice, he was like, well, what's your nickname? And I was like, I don't have one. I said, well, my grandmother called me Ty. He was like, so just be Lady Ty, ladies in promotion. I was like, what? That's cool. And so I was like, okay, because nickname, somebody got to give it to you. Right. So I was like, giving a nickname. So I was so happy. And then there was a rapper girl named Lady Ty. And I'm like, wait a minute. So she's rapping and so funny thing, she was in New York then. Now she's in Atlanta. We finally met face to face. And so I was like, man, I can't be Lady Ty and she's Lady Ty. I was like, what am I going to do now? I said, I'm going to be the Great. And that's how we got Lady Ty the Great. I wasn't letting go of the Lady Ty. I'm going to the Lady. And so Lady Ty the Great. And a friend of mine, I never forget, Sheena said to me, you sure you can live up to that? And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? And I was like, yeah. And I believe that I'm doing an okay job.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Man, there was a lot in there. I don't want to get into too many of the industry stories, but
But listen, that's the whole listen. And let me tell you something. I gotta say this to you. And thank you for having this platform. First of all, shout out to you for so many levels and reasons. You such a creative genius, and you bring in amazing minds together. Shout out to you, sis, for being wonderful, a beautiful host. Like I just appreciate your heartfelt questions. The energy here is so dope because it's a vibe. And so, but I wanted to say shout out to you all because what we experience has not been recorded. We're not internet babies. AOL just came out with the little thing back in the day. You had to
dial up.
Yeah, you was trying to get other people free CDs so you could get back on it. Before we got caught in this web that we in right now. But those things need to be recorded, and that's what I want to talk to you about too. The process of recording stories that haven't been recorded. We have to put them on the map. Now we got to tell the GPT and the internet, and we have to blog recorded history for real hip hop and real things because it is not what it is right now. But yeah,
you're right, and very important because they will try to change it up and remix it.
They already are. Even the way
so they can't help 50-50.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to ask you. We got to start winding it down in a minute, but I know you were, and I wanted to mention earlier too that we came across each other in one of these educational platforms where I came across you. on one of these educational platforms. That was created by our sister, Billionaire Pete, not Billionaire Pete,
Brooklyn, Brooklyn
Billionaire Brooklyn.
Yes.
And you two co-hosted a panel at Earn Your Leisure. I mean at Invest Fest.
No, I did. Though I spoke on the stage at the marketplace at Invest Fest. Yes.
Okay, talk about the Invest Fest experience and the role that you played.
So that was my first. And so shout out to DBA, right? And so we just learning and being amazing entrepreneurs out here in these streets, just making sure we cover all the tracks, right? And so, and I thank you for being diligent, because in order for you to find me, you had to look. That means you was up searching, you was doing classroom checks, because you caught the replay. You wasn't on the live, right? Right. And so that's beautiful, because there's a community of entrepreneurs where I came in and I taught to a few thousands of people, right? But now there's 33,000+ people in there that can go back and watch the replay. And I also have a course now inside of there where people can learn how to write and grow rich to the next level. So this is great, because this is an area where we are helping each other in real life. And now you got help, because we even did a one-on-one, like we did a 15-minute session that went more than the time, and we talked about some things. So it's real coaches still out here, y'all. Right. And so it was my first time going to Invest Fest. My cousins had a birthday party for me in New York. So I flew to New York for the party. It was wonderful. And my other cousin from Florida said, hey, are you going to Invest Fest? I said, oh, I hadn't been invited. And he said, well, we're going to figure that out. And it was figured out. And then next thing you know, he said, are you ready to go on the stage? And I was like, what? And this, and so next thing you know, your girl is on the stage with the microphone, telling people to write their book, tell their story, to start from, this is one of my slogans, start from the end first, then the middle, then the beginning. Very simple little paper. But yeah, so I got to share with people do you want my experience there or my experience sharing there?
Whatever you want to share about that.
It was absolutely, prior to going, I might have had different thoughts about it, or no thought about it, maybe thinking, oh, it's just everybody, a lot of people together, and okay. No, it's a whole situation. If you're an entrepreneur, it's like the heartbeat, the main vein of why you do the thing you do. It's a reminder. It's like water for a fish. So, and they're not even paying me to say any of that. You understand what I'm saying? I just mean the encouragement. It's not even encouragement. It's just like me walking down in Ghana streets and the real sun shining on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even explain it. And I'm so grateful that I went. Next time, the only thing I would do different is sleep in there. Like, I wouldn't even get a hotel. I was just like, can I sleep by the escalator? Like, I would just be right there. That's the only thing I would do different. Because there was something, everybody over delivered, and it was absolutely beautiful to see that many people inspired. And I love it.
Nice.
And how'd you hook up with Billionaire Brooklyn?
This phone. The phone was going off again, but no, this time they didn't put me on a live. But the phone, she had did a podcast with someone, and I saw the podcast when she was talking, and I normally skip past the stuff, and she said something, and when she kept talking, and when she said, I don't have no car, and it was just her humbleness, and then I said, let me listen to this, and I listened, and I said, what? And I had reached out to her, and we connected, and we talked, and I think she had a Zoom or something, and then she was like, yeah, we can talk, put your course in there, you can come in, and we just went from there. And then when I did different summits and stuff like that, we just began to run into each other in different places. So it was purely organic, just her beautiful, genuine spirit, and I hadn't seen that in this space in a while, so it was like, it was so refreshing to see somebody else that's pure heart, beautiful and kind, and making a space for other people that's not charging, money that people might have to, make decisions on light bills about.
Strange for a piece of change.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. You don't need to get a richer credit or put this on the down payment or do that.
Right.
Respectfully to anybody that charges their price, but there's different levels, and I'm grateful that she has a level for everybody to start. And when you start on one level, you can actually really make money.
Right. And it is a dope community that she created. In addition to Lady Tyler Great's course being in there, there's a lot of other coaches from different areas. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're into real estate, whether you're into AI, whether you're into trading, whatever the case may be. Like there's a whole bunch of courses that's inside of this community, and it's a community of like-minded individuals that you could just connect with and build with on different levels. So just to let y'all know, if you might be interested in something like that.
You have your link, right? So you should send people. Do you have your link inside the link in your bio and your link tree or whatever?
I have it in the link in my bio on my channel. I mean on my IG.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, so definitely. And that's another thing, because it's great information. But when you sign up through our brother here, who's bringing you amazing people on the platform, right? Sign up through him, and now you become a part and you get to learn. But also, this is an opportunity for you to earn and make some money. So definitely support the person that is sharing that information with you. I'm an advocate of supporting people that have given you. So don't just go digging on your own. Contact bro.
Holla at me.
Yes. Holla.
Yes, indeed. And so Nice D, man. Our guest has been more than gracious with her time. You want to start winding it down from here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Lady T the Great, I got a question for you. Maybe a couple.
Come on, I'm ready.
What does freedom and power mean to you?
Oh, so freedom and power. Wow, and I would say power, true power, is having freedom. And what true freedom is, having time to do what you want. And not what you want, but having time to spend time. And having time to help others be able to spend time. So my children are homeschooled, right? If I had to go to work and be a 9 to 5, then how could I? You know what I'm saying? If I want to do a vacation with them, anything that I want to do. I recently helped them get their own employment, and they were working. And then I realized, oh man, they're working. Like, I wanted them to get the work ethic, but then I got in the middle of that thing with them and I said, this is not what I wanted. I thought that's what I wanted. I wanted them to learn. I wanted them to make some money, but they're not a workhorse. And I said, hey guys, we're going to take a little break for a minute, and let's start going to vendors. Let me see what you like to do. And I poured into them specifically and strategically about entrepreneurship, because I did not want to create them into be someone else's worker, because now we was losing time. We were together because I was with them in it, but then we was tired. Then and I was like, oh, what is this? Because I hadn't worked since when, y'all? So now I'm working, and I'm like, how can I be an entrepreneur since 16, teaching kids how to work? But I did work jobs before, but everything I worked still steered me to not be that workhorse. So so freedom and real power is having the ability to be able to control what you do with your time. I used to think power was something else. I thought I got married to power, and then I learned, no, there's none of the above. The power is when you have freedom to control your time and enjoy life and educate others. Real power is knowledge that's applied.
That is a fact. Yes. That is a fact. And so, you being, a native from New York, you familiar with the Summer Jam screen. Right now, I got to put you on the Summer Jam screen, and we're going to let you have the last word, man. Anything that you want to say to the people before we get up out of here, the microphone is yours and the entire Black community.
Microphone check.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. I want to say that your words create worlds. You literally can change the world with a pen. Your words in your mouth can create the wealth you're looking for. You're looking and chasing after the wrong thing. The answer is on the inside of you. You have a voice, you have a story, you have a reason. You can write a book, you can tell a story, you can publish a book, you can own all of the rights, but it's in you. And even though you don't have all the answers yet, listen, you can't wait till your life is over to publish, to put their book out there, right? Because guess what? Heaven don't have a publishing company, okay? You have a voice, you have a story now. You have something that you learned, something that you could leave in this earth. And really, I believe in the greatness in you. So if you ever considered writing a story, and even if you haven't, and somebody has encouraged you to, I need you to know that you can tap in with me, Lady Ty the Great, and I will guide you through that full process. Write your book, tell your story. You have a voice, your voice matters. Do not leave this earth without putting your bookprint in this earth. We are the library now, and your voice is needed. You could write and grow rich and change your time so you can have true freedom and be liberated for real. Let's go. Write, grow rich, tell your story. You are the voice.
I like that. Right, grow rich. You are the story.
Yes, indeed. And let everybody know where they can find you, how they can contact you, if they want to get with you, with your course, all that good stuff.
Awesome. So you can find me on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok at Lady Ty the Great. On Facebook, I also have a page there, Lady Ty the Great. That's LadyTythegreat, Lady Ty the Great. On Instagram, if you DM me today and you put Godcast, then I'll make sure that I'll give you a free copy of an ebook. Right? So I'm self-published. Just because you rock it and you watch this interview all the way through, I will give you that free copy. So just make sure you inbox me Godcast so I can know that you watch this. Even if you're watching the replay, I still got you. And then I will also send you the link where you can register exclusively for the free workshop masterclass that I'm going to be coming up on October the 27th. So yeah, but at all platforms, Lady Ty the Great. Instagram is where I frequent mostly, and I'm also ladytythegreat.com, so you can learn more about me and all the different things that I've done. But yeah, that's it.
Nice. Well, Crew Reality said he has a book in him, and he needs Lady Ty the Great to help him publish.
Let's go.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
I meant to apologize to y'all in the chat earlier. I can't see the chat, so I don't know if y'all been chiming in or what.
Crew Reality has been in here. Mama Love has been up in here. Thank you guys for joining in. I've been seeing y'all messages.
I can't see the chat either, but y'all are amazing.
Oh, I can.
You are lit. Let me see. What's this?
Yeah, I'm lit. The chat was lit.
That's a private chat. Oh, well, chat. Hey, it's okay, chat. We like y'all.
There y'all go. Follow her at Lady Ty the Great on Instagram. The book is coming out November 11th.
11/11.
The free workshop is going to be October 27th. You know what I mean? Are you still doing free consultations, or that's dead?
So yeah, I will leave it up for another 2 weeks for your people.
Okay, so if you put Godcast, and if you put Godcast inside the inbox when you DM her, put Godcast so she know that you're coming from here, and you get a complimentary 15-minute call to figure out.
I'll leave it up so they can actually book the call ASAP, because I'm going to cut it off once we start the full promotion and launch for Write and Grow Rich. That's another thing, guys. When you write in a book, it's just like a campaign. You want to do a whole launch before. You see, I had the book in my hand, all the information. It's got workbook parting and everything, but I have the book. Amazon has it. If you try to get, how much did you see how much it was on Amazon, friend?
I didn't.
You want to know?
Yes.
$250 on Amazon.
How much of it if I get it from you?
$97, and you get a consultation.
There you go.
Yeah. And so this is the blueprint that teaches you how to write, where to go to self-publish, the copyright. It gives you marketing campaigns, the 25 streams of income that you can write and self-publish, like everything, how to create your own course, the curriculum, all of the things is inside here. So this is what I'm talking about. You need it. This is for real. It's not no game. It has a glossary in here. Like, what? Not a book with a glossary. It has, so this is so important, but this is why it's priced that way. Not that has to be explained, but for some people that may be like, what? So get excited when you get a free consultation, because I understand my worth and my value. I've invested over $150K, so I'm going to give you game by accident when we talk. You understand? It's going to show you out of me.
It's
Can
a
you
fact.
attest to that,
It's,
bro?
it's definitely a fact. You know, I did a consultation with her last week,
Yeah.
week and a half ago, something like that. And yeah, game from the gate. No fluff, you know, none of that nonsense. Just free game, and I appreciate it.
We have a question in the chat.
Okay.
They want to know, do you only publish books? How about music? Do you
Oh,
publish music?
good question. And so for myself, I have published music. I haven't ventured into publishing music for others, but I do know how to tell you to get, it's either BMI or ASCAP. Everybody's gonna say ASCAP. But if you want to get your music up and out right now and you have original music, I can walk you through that process as well. So
Boom.
well, yeah. So boom, bam. And so when we do the books, we do audio books, regular books, albums for the books. Not gonna give away all the gems, but yeah. So
Get consultation. Have your questions ready.
Yep.
yeah, I got answers. We ready?
There you go. And so I appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. I wasn't ignoring y'all. Again, I can't see the chat. Got some issues going on over here on my side, but it's all good. Me and Nicety will be back here Sunday for our regular broadcast, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. And that does it for today's episode of the Black Business Showcase. Always remember, family, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.